I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. It's been 10 days of protests in Nigeria, and the protests will be coming to its head today. And the organizers of the protests have talked about a 1 million man march in 36 states, include plus Abuja makes it 37 states. Now, I always ask myself, what next after these protests? Every reasonable Nigerian, including the political elites, must be asking what next. If the political elites are not asking what next, that means they must be very evil and they have seen Nigerians as a conquered territory and they are the new or neo-colonialists of the Nigerian territory. What next? Like in Kenya, a second wave of protests has emerged and it looks fiercer than the previous ones. So, what next in Nigeria? I would like suggestions. But let me just say some things that I believe the protesters should think about. Number one, the youths of this country, ideally, a youth is supposed to be somebody 35 and below. But for the sake of this discussion, because we want younger presidents in this country, let's say the young men and women of this country from 45 downwards must start thinking about taking over leadership in this country. Somebody sent me a message or had a discussion with me that I'm supposed to be at fault for refusing to contest elections, that I'm partly responsible for the problems of this country. And I told him, I am 65 for God's sake. Old men, people of my age bracket, should be thinking of handing over their businesses to their children to run. You can't bring Christian Chuku to come and captain the Super Eagles now. No. I'm not as technologically savvy as my PA or as my children. Sometimes, as I'm discussing with people, my mind will just stray off and I will need to be reminded of what I was saying. And I experienced that with an older person just last week. Sometimes I will make a phone call, I will forget who I called. I'm not as strong as I used to be. If you look at Kamala Harris and Biden, Kamala Harris is obviously stronger and I would say more has engineered more interest in politics in America. And so young men and women should start thinking of replacing us as senators, replacing us as House of Representative members, and replacing us as governors. If I can leave my businesses, my schools in this country to be run by my daughter, I should, so also we should leave politics in your hands. It does not mean we should not give you counsel. So the Nigerian youth should stop seeing his or herself as an agent of carrying ballot boxes, special assistants, and thugs for my generation. We have we have delayed the progress of this country enough, and we cannot keep repeating the same cycle and expect this country to change. We need younger people. But the experience, Yahaya Bello is a young man, and 80 something billion, we have not seen the result. Beta Edu is a young person. Uh, at one time, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, they were young people, but nothing came out of them. So we must bring people of value and reputation into governance. And it is you, the young people, that can project them, that can present them, promote them, and then push them to contest. And now, I would suggest that the next movement in this country is to hold people accountable, and that will include the way the security agencies interact and interface with Nigerians. One key issue is that we must create value for the Nigerian life, create value for our society, create value for our country, create values, new values for our interaction as the different tribal units, different nationalities in this country. If not, the same principles they have used to imprison my generation, imprison the next generation will be reapplied. And so we must start deliberately interfacing with the army, with the police, with whatever, on new rules of engagement with the civil society. And we must start putting pressure on the judiciary to be accountable. Pressure. And there's nothing the elite fear more than exposing their antics and exposing their corruption. So I will want our youths to turn this movement to a political movement. If possible, form a political party. The way the oligarchy has always perpetually subjugated the other political oppositions in Nigeria, I mean in Africa, is that the political opposition is always divided. Atiku is complaining now. Maybe, I don't know if Kwankwaso is complaining, but there is massive demonstration in Kano. If Kwankwaso, Atiku, and Peter Obi had come together, Tinubu would not have emerged victorious. So one of the problems we've had is that we form small opposition parties that cannot make a headway. I believe this movement can come together, form a formidable young people's party with a new name, or take over one other party, like as Obi came into Labour Party. But I believe a new movement should emerge. But you see, my generation will also come in and sow seeds of division by promoting ethnic rivalry and promoting division, like as we've seen in the Labour Party, some other smaller parties where there was leadership tussle. As long as we have these attitudes of contending for leadership, contending for offices and relevance, you can never remove my generation, my wicked generation, because they know the game, they know the rules, they know how to knock your heads against each other. People always talk about money. No! 1 million Nigerian youths contributing 1,000 naira weekly to a political party fund is 1,000 Nigeria, 1 million Nigeria is 52 billion in a year. Is 52 billion in a year. In 4 years, is 200 and something billion. It is enough war chest to fight my generation to a standstill. Anyhow they want to do it. Anyhow they want to do it. But because it is collective money that has been donated, one person will not feel that he is entitled to grab back his investment. In that case, the governance is jointly owned, collectively owned, and therefore the person in power now has responsibility to meet the demands of those who put him in power. This one is not godfatherism, is gatherism that can bring a new form of political agenda to Nigeria. So you can start, most young people in Nigeria, they just want to go to the top. You want to be a presidential candidate. You have no proper spread. You have no resources. You have brilliant ideas. Let's start from bottom up. Become councillors. Become local government chairman. chairpersons, particularly with this bill that has been sponsored by one politician in the Senate, the National Independent Local Government Election Commission that I suggested so many years back. Start from contesting from bottom up. Bottom up, you have the spread, you have the energy, you have the technology, you have the vibrancy. At the same time, people can start being in other political parties so that you have a spread. It might look contradictory, but it is possible. Then, from what I saw in the north and in different parts of the country, you need entrepreneurial mentorship amongst yourselves in this country, particularly the youth. You, the musicians, you, the social media influencers, you, the celebrities. You can't be flying private jets and showing big houses and all that in an impoverished country. If you don't take care, you will become the targets of your mates with time. Start putting your funds into political change, into entrepreneurship. Sponsor entrepreneurship programs in your communities. We just finished um, giving money to young girls in the Delta State University of Science and Technology. Give them 50,000 to do POS. We know what we mean by POS. Some of them produce snacks, different things. We also bought sanitary towels. Salimo Wiz Foundation, Prefer Foundation. A lady brought 500,000. A lady brought 100,000 from Japan. Another person donated 30,000. And we were able to pump some money to some girls to start entrepreneurship. So I believe that not won't wait for Tony Elimelu Foundation alone and start talking about the whole of Africa. Let's talk about our states, our regions, entrepreneurship in the north, in the south, east, and west, and the south. I'll give you an example. I came from where I went to preach on Thursday, and as I tried to on my solar system, there was an explosion, and for some days I had been smelling something like wire burning. I didn't know that with the restoration of public power supply, maybe the voltage was too high, and there was something going wrong in the Z inverter. I just put it on, it exploded. But I made a call to the person who installed it, and he came to carry it, sent somebody to carry it, and within 3 hours, it was repaired and brought. Why? He is the fabricator. He fabricates inverters. I was so happy when I saw that he brought it within a space of 3 hours, and it was quite a long distance he took it to with traffic. Brought it back within a space of 3 hours, and I had electricity restored. So, if that young man is empowered to train 1,000 youths in Delta states, even if it is, and we're going to do another program in the University at Ozoro and the community. We're going to train people on renewable energy. Salimo Foundation, Prefer, the university community, and all that. Let's start thinking about making our young men and women productive and generating wealth so that they will not be pawns in the hands of politicians, and we can't be easily enticed by anything. I believe I'm not easily moved by any politician. No. I was telling somebody that if you come to want to intimidate me, I have many things that you are not. If only money is what you have to intimidate me, then you are a poor man. You can't intimidate me. So when we empower our youths through the youths themselves, Fino, Davido, what is their name? All of them around. You have so much money. Let's empower your generation. Don't only come out for protest. Empower your generation. Set up places where these individuals can acquire skills, coding, cybersecurity, and then we create wealth in the nation. And then you are able to stand and contest elections with your collective effort and bring change to this country. And you are not desperate to steal. You're not desperate to steal. I think we should be looking forward from this level. And I would like your suggestions. I would like your suggestions, not just pick on one line I have made now and start criticizing and talking rubbish. Brings credible suggestions so that people who will tune in and who can share these things and our nation can be a great nation. I was discussing with somebody from the Caribbean. She's in New York, and she said that all of them in the diaspora who have African extraction, that they are following developments in Nigeria and they are just hoping and wishing that Nigeria can just get it right. If Nigeria is a peaceful country, Nigeria has steady electricity supply, we have good roads, good health services, we have security. Several Africans in the diaspora would like to relocate to Nigeria and we'll have a great country. And I still believe that the prophecy of Pa Elton will come to pass. This is just the beginning. I pray that God will bless this country, raise young men and women that will take over what people like us are doing and run with it and produce millions of Nigerians that have value for their country and value for humanity. Remember, I have a conference coming up on the 13th and on the 14th of September. It's tagged Sustainable Development in Life, Ministry, Business, and Career. Send a message to +234 705213 and I will send you the flyer. God bless you. I have properties for sale and I have lots of books for sale. Somebody just ordered from Rwanda and we have sent them to her in Rwanda. God bless you.